This is On the Porch, RVA, where every episode features observers discussing life. We agree and we disagree. So we invite you to take part as we discuss current events and no telling what else. Whether the conversation is bad drivers, politics, or even earthworms, everyone has an opinion and is welcome to express it. Life is an adventure to be shared and celebrated here on the porch.
Hey everybody, this is On the Porch, RVA. I'm glad you found us. Glad you're going to pause in your day or just listen while you keep on rolling. I wanted to introduce you to, well, you know Evie, my new friend, Carla, and I do not recall your last name.
Savage. The coolest last name in the world.
In the world. In the world. I tell you what I have learned, very much so, is Famous Sookie. This is where we're at today. And I just can't tell you. You would be so jealous of all this stuff, all the sampling. I'm just having a blast. Thank you for letting us come and visit.
You are welcome. I'm glad you guys came today. I'm excited. Plus, we get to have some fun sampling things.
I love sampling things. And seriously, this is nice. This is nice. I have 4 questions that I always ask to just keep things rolling and have a starting point. And so the first one is the hardest, I think. Okay, we'll get that over with.
Yeah.
And so, this is nice. The book that you would want to read again for the first time without any pre-knowledge whatsoever. The book that didn't necessarily have the biggest impact on you, but you would want to experience it fresh again if you could.
Oh my God. This book is called
She didn't have any problem with that one.
I cannot recall the author right now, but I read it when I was 18, and my older sister read it first. And then she said, because we were like bookworms, and she was like, Carla, read this book. And the book was like maybe 3 inches thick. And I was like, oh, God, I don't know. And then they had the tiny font. Remember back in the day, they had tiny font in the books. And I think the book was like 900 pages, and it's called Savage. Now,
Savage.
Yes, and it's amazing because that's my last name.
Yeah, you would be able to remember that being your last name. I'll remember it now, too.
Yes, but what it was about these 4 women who were billionaires, and they traveled with their spouses overseas to some foreign land. And the wives went out to frolic in the woods, enjoy themselves, just chat, talk, walk around, with their little dresses and things on, kind of like the card
doing
people.
A little touristy
kind
thing.
of like the card people with the big queen dresses and stuff. So they got to witness their spouses be assassinated, and they had to survive in the woods.
Oh my goodness.
And they were strong. They learned how to survive.
That's a provocative story.
Oh,
I will
love
find it, and I'm going to put it in the show notes.
Please do.
I will put audiobook if I can find it.
Oh, you will. I'll make sure I'll text you the author when I get home. Because I read that book when I was 18, and this past year, my sister, who's the next day, her birthday is the next day in March, she sent it to me wrapped in a bow.
Oh,
and I opened the book up, and it had a big bow on it, and I couldn't really tell what it said because it was an older one, and it didn't have the front cover of that.
Right.
And when I opened the first page, and I flipped the book, and it said Savage, I said, oh my God. And I was 59 when she sent me the book, and that was the best gift ever.
The best
hard
copy, actual
Yes,
book.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that was a rare gift to me because I always promote that book. You have to read that book called Savage. And my sister was like, Carla, remember that book called Savage? I said, yeah, I've been trying to find that book. Because I would get the book and somebody go, hey, let me borrow the book. Or can I read it after I tell them what it's about? And I would never get it back.
Yeah.
I would never get it back. I couldn't find it in the library. My sister found it. And she was in New Jersey. And I just cried when I opened that. And that was the best gift ever.
A couple of book series that I got hooked on. It was like that. I was so effusive about it. I said, you got to check it out. And they said, well, let me have your copy. I said, okay. And then you hope you get it back.
Yeah, so we're going to have to exchange some of that, too. Yeah, because I love reading. It saved me on my light bill.
When do you have time to read? Now, I got to tell you, this lady I've been blown away with all that she has accomplished. And I didn't plan to ask you, but after getting to know you a little bit, I have to ask you, do you schedule naps?
I don't schedule naps.
Sounds like you need to.
So, what I do is, because my hours are going to be Wednesday through Saturday. So, therefore, my naps, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'm back here. That gives me time to get my hair done, to get my nails done, to take a nap, to cook for my spouse, because he's like, oh my God, you won't cook no more. I'm cooking product.
Yes, on the note about the product, this is stuff she actually cooks. She's not speaking euphemistically when she said that. How long does it take you? This is, let me tell you what's in this. There's olive oil, soybean oil, shea butter, coconut oil, mineral oil, raw sunflower oil, cocoa butter, vitamin E, jojoba oil, beeswax, and then the fragrances are vanilla, kumquat, violet, jasmine, chocolate, cantaloupe.
And
you are not going to be able to imagine what this smells like. What you want to do is you want to find the shop on Williamsburg Road. And this is your second one.
Yes, this is the second one. The other one is located at 911 9 Mile Road. And that's a smaller location. It was kind of personal. So it was one room, and it was a jewelry store. And another individual was selling cars, and then we had another young lady that was doing watch repair, and then there was me. And when I walked in, I lit it up, and they were like, "Oh, it's great!" And so many people started coming in and out that door, and I was like, "Okay, I have to do something slightly bigger." So yeah,
this is nice.
Yeah,
but get yourself one of these little sample doodads, and you'll be happy. You'll be happy you did it. You'll be happy you did. I'm happy that Evie has introduced us and suggested this little get-together.
Me too. Evie been hiding that for a long time.
It has taken a while.
She's a great promoter, too. She promotes birthdays roll around. She makes sure everybody get their Sookie. I love it. She uses it herself.
Now, I have to tell you that some of these things, the foaming discs and I mean, they look like demented desserts.
Yeah, this oatmeal and vanilla and honey. Oh my goodness! It's a foot scrub, actually.
If it works even half as well as you would think by looking at it, even by half, you would not be disappointed. And no, she is not my sponsor. This is my first experience with seeing this stuff, and I'm just flabbergasted. This is nice. The second question I want to ask you is what motivates you to do what you do? Because if you've done all of the physical stuff,
yes,
and I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yes, but the way I look at it is when you love what you do, it's not work. I've always been into art. So I've always put art into everything I do, to include when I was in the military. Of course, I had to do a few up-down goes, sit-ups for getting in trouble for being a clown, but, I love art. So the product because I kept trying so many different products out there, and they pretty much have a lot of alcohol, and different things you can't pronounce that'll break you out. And,
right.
Yeah. So I started dabbling because my grandmother, she was a soap maker, and, we're from the islands, so we got into a lot of the different type of essential oils and smells and scents. And
okay.
we had jewelry and art and music and you name it. I had an album out in 1983. Like I said, military time. I worked at North Anna, nuke plant, worked for Verizon 9 years. I've been around, and now I'm really ready to retire. So I figure I can do this. And it's like relaxing to me.
And satisfies the creativity to be able to. Some of the combinations of these scents, flavors, some of the combinations are just amazing. Where she would say, "How about this one?" And I'm like, "There's no way." So I am very admiring of just the ability to be able to imagine these combinations. That's incredible. So there's the creativity factor. The fact that it gives you some freedom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Freedom.
That's awesome.
Yes. Freedom, and I love people. So I figured if it's good for me, maybe it's good for somebody else. And then the more people started using the product, I was like, oh my God. I worked at the city of Richmond, and I was there for 2 years at social services. Everybody was wearing my product. Everybody was wearing the jewelry. So, I had to come up.
Why not?
Yeah, I had to come up with different combinations because everybody wanted to wear what I was wearing. And what I was wearing is called Signature Scent, I believe. It's that one.
This one.
Yes, and I would wear that, and Evie and I couldn't go anywhere. I had a guy at Red Lobster. Me and my spouse was going to sit down and eat, and the waiter followed us. And my husband said,
where are you following my wife?
Hey. And he said, hey. And the waiter said, hey, I just want my wife to wear whatever she's wearing. And
so you can't just be sniffing my wife for no reason.
Yeah. He was like, this guy. And he was following directly. It was me in the front and my husband and the waiter. And he was just following us. And my husband said, hey. He said, whatever she's wearing, I really want my wife to smell like that. And he's laid back and nice. Oh, she made that. She made that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of love going to it. It's kind of like being a chef. If you don't feel like cooking, you can taste that. If you're upset, you can taste it doesn't taste right. The same goes for the products, whether it be a common spray, soap, lip balms, body butters, lotions.
The fact that you're willing to put your name on it, now, admittedly, her name is not Sookie, but you would know she has that level of responsibility, and the fact that it's homemade.
Oh yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
I love that. What's my other question?
Oh,
then
I got through the hard ones.
You did. Well, some people think that my next question is the hard one. But
you keep getting me.
Nobody's cried yet.
Oh, maybe I will.
Although I came close to crying.
Goodness.
One woman gave me an answer. I came close to crying yet.
Oh, goodness.
But please, if you would, tell me the worst day or season that you've been through.
Okay.
Not because we want the nitty gritty.
No.
But because the reason that I wanted to do a podcast in the first place is to prove that it can be done.
Yes.
You don't have to be somebody special to do what is, in your own mind, worth doing.
Yes.
There's no such thing as being too old.
Yep.
There is.
I'm 60. So that just goes to show you it's never too late. It's kind of like music. Like the kids crack me up. They go, oh, they too old to listen to rap. Oh, you too old to listen to rock. I said, hold on, I still have ears. I still have a sight. We've been where you are, so we've heard it all.
So here's the question. The worst day or season of your life. How you came out of it.
how did I come out of it? Oh my God. I think the worst season of my life was always putting everybody's dreams before mine. Mm. And I had an episode where I'll just say family member, Evie pretty much seen me go through it. And a family member came to me and asked me, hey, can you help me do this? And me, I'm always promoting for young people, but they have a different upbringing. Mm-hmm. Kind of like we're kind of traditional. We have those values, the 60s, 50s, 40s, Mm-hmm. We have those values, but the younger folks are new. They're in this new world. Mm-hmm. So I put my dream on hold, invested about $30,000.
That's real money.
Yes. That's real. But I was pulling from my 401 because I was pulling from my heart. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I was. Mm-hmm. So I put that first, and it didn't turn out the way it was planned because it was a family member. Mm-hmm. But what I've learned through that is you cannot expect everyone to have the same type of work ethics that you have.
So they left you holding the bag.
They left me holding the bag. They left me holding the building. They left me holding the taxes that were due. They left me, it was something.
That was digging a hole.
Whoa, yeah. It was a deep hole. And then I got dinged on the taxes and, So I made my way out. And, through God's grace, I didn't need a penny from anyone. And it was a big tax bill, and I paid every single penny off. Mm-hmm. And me and this family member didn't speak for a few years. That was the hurtful part. Yeah, it was tragic.
When you pulled yourself together to push through and push past that, I'm guessing your faith had something to do with you being able to get your equilibrium again.
It did, yes. Evie's my best friend. My best friend. We've been knowing each other for years. We'd be at work and she'd chase me around the building. Literally.
Oh, that's right.
Chase me around the building. And I'm like, somebody help me. Get her. Get her. But it was always a lot of laughter. And she's kind of my best friend, my confidant. I speak to her about everything, good and bad. We call each other. We pray for each other. We uplift each other. So that was a really, really bad time because my family member, in turn, I was trying to help that family member because they were having, I don't know if they were having difficulties or if they was using a controlled substance or something happened to them. Mm-hmm. All right. They were going through something. Mm-hmm. But in my eyes, I always jump in and try to save everybody.
Yes.
But they didn't try to save me. They tried to hurt me. So I've never had a speeding ticket, not once. Research it. I've never been arrested.
So the value of your name is important to you.
Yes,
and
it is.
That was part of what went into that.
It tore me up.
30,000 was not just.
And it wasn't even
value,
the money.
It was everything that it represented. The fact that you pulled it out of your 401k, you're pulling it out of your future.
Yeah, out of my heart. And out of my. Well, I knew that I could work it off or get back to that point. Mm-hmm. But it was just the point that you asked me and I obliged you with it because I thought so much of your dream that I put mine on hold.
Yeah. So then part of your bounce was having the faith.
Yes.
Having a friend to remind you of your faith.
A mother who was an ordained minister and, it helped. It helped. A lot of prayer because I had to go through a legal situation because after I tried to help them, they didn't realize that's what I was doing. I'm calling a meeting to help this family member, but they thinking I'm calling a meeting to fry them in front of all the other employees and blew their stack and start tearing up the shop and then call the cops on me. I'm like, hold on, I didn't know. So I made it out of that, with God's grace, because like I said, I'm a good person and I'm proud to say that. I have a big heart.
So you stayed steady.
Yes, I did.
And just kept moving.
Yes, I kept moving and kept making jewelry because I make jewelry too, and kept
so the creativity
products.
was part
Always
of your goal and part of your method.
Yes, indeed.
Part of your process.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, so let me take that to my last question.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you
Mm-hmm.
when you knew what you wanted to be when you grew up?
How old was I?
If you know, even now, what you want to be when you grow up.
Well, I always feel like you're always learning, and I'm always like evolving. You know, I come from a family of 9. You know, I had 8 other siblings and a mother and a father. You know, and then I have half sisters and brothers as well. So I always feel like
and you did
I'm
a little
learning.
bit of bouncing around too.
Oh yes, oh my goodness.
Did that book, The Savage? You were saying they were traveling. Did that have anything to do with your joining the military and traveling?
I joined the military I had 2 salons, one in Portsmouth and one in Virginia Beach. And I had a hairdresser that she was like, I'm going in the Army. And I'm like, why? No, you know. And then she started doing really well, and she started explaining to me that the benefits, you know, of joining, because you know, you hear all the gory stories when you're trying to attempt to do something, and people will sway you because it's their opinion, but half of them don't have the experience. So when my friend, who was one of my hairdressers at my salon, she went in, she started succeeding. I wanted to do the same thing. I was like, I had my kids to take care of. I was a single mother. I was like, okay, I'm joining. Yeah. And I did, and boy, was I in for it.
Well, there are a lot of situations where that actually is a solution, but you just never really know.
Yeah.
Because so much depends on where you end up and who you end up working with.
And you never end up where you want.
Now, I can tell you, when I was in the service and I had that offer, you know, just before you're getting out, and they'll say, we'll give you your dream assignment.
For sure.
Well, all you have to do is re-enlist.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the next thing you know, you're going to Kosovo.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I might have trusted you to do that. But by the time I was ready to get out, I was ready to get out.
Yeah,
they could have promised me anything.
Yeah, me too. I was ready. And my husband was
there
like,
was a season for it.
Out. He was like, I'm getting out. You have to get out as well. And I was like, because he retired. He did 20-something years, and I still had a few years more to go. And he was like, no, you're getting out as well.
He was not interested in being independent.
Yeah, he was ready. He was like, let's get out of here now. It's time to do something else. And, you know, then you miss all the birthdays and weddings and anniversaries and just the whatnots. And then you're like, well, hey, I want to be a mom. Yeah. Oh, you know.
No, it's exciting to be a traveling savage. But
it is.
But then you have in the back of your mind all the things that you want to celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was that.
Yeah.
You know, I was missing the celebrations that I grew up with. The Christmas with Mom, where the squirrel jumped out the tree. You know, it literally jumped out the tree. She came home with her and my dad with the station wagon with the tree wrapped up with the wire. Remember how they used to fold them up and put them on top of the cars?
On top of the car.
And let me tell you,
that poor dislocated
my
squirrel.
grandmother was in her 80s swinging a broom around, and everybody else was up on top of the chairs, and that squirrel was going. It was like the kid on The Incredibles. It was going. But yeah, I missed that, the laughter, the family.
I may have to add that to the screenplay I'm working on. That would be so hilarious.
That squirrel jumped out. It was a movie like that. It was a movie. Remember the movie back in the day with Dan Aykroyd and them, and the squirrel jumped out the tree?
Yeah, but
that happened.
That's a Griswold Christmas.
That happened to us, literally. The squirrel jumped out. I was like, thank God it was a squirrel and not a snake, because it would have been worse.
Oh, that would have been
my grandmother was going around in circles, bless her heart, rest in peace. She was swinging around a broom, and everybody else was up on top of the chairs hollering. That was the funniest thing ever.
That's awesome.
And thank God we had the back door and the front door, and the house was kind of open.
Just heard it right.
Yeah, the house was open, so when he jumped out, he ran around all over, and then he went right out the back door. But
and then everybody celebrated.
That was the funniest thing ever. Never forget.
If you would, tell us a couple of these things. We've got just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Or maybe just 1 minute.
Okay. All right. Just
okay. We've got more minutes
just
than that.
the,
Give us a little tour here.
Okay, so on the table. Oh, also we make men's. I have a men's line as well. So, and a lot of the men's line is made with like oak moss and activated charcoal, you know, and sea salt, and you know, I do the exfoliants for the men for their foot scrubs and lotion. But a lot of it you see is body butter, lotion, soaps, lip balm. The calming spray, which probably helped us. Maybe it helped us a little bit too much because I feel extra calm right now. Let me see.
Lavender and sage.
Yes, lavender and sage. And you can spray that. That's a linen spray. You can spray it on your pillows. It really helps you relax, you know, and just massage it.
Alcohol in it.
No alcohol in anything that I make. Oh my God, that smells so good.
It does.
Yeah. And then I do my original artwork on the soaps.
Yes.
So, and I do scented ones, the little cameo soaps, lemon soaps, cherry, your favorite, the oatmeal vanilla. They are like foot scrubs. I do fruity soaps. I do candles, pumpkin spice, vanilla. I do loofah soaps where you get down to the loofah and, you know, scrub your foot.
It's got a loofah in it.
Yeah, I do the wax melts where you sit these in the tea lights, you know, and just let them melt away and the whole room smell good. But at Sookie, we sell a lot of different, like bath stuff affiliated with baths, like masks and gloves and, you know, scrubs and weights. You know, I even have the weights that you can heat up or cool off and put around you and just relax. But it's all natural and it's just all about you. You know, we have so many different scents that you'll find something that you love, and everything is natural. So, you know,
I will vouch for how easy it is to find something that you will love. I can vouch for that. I'll have location information.
Yes.
In the show notes. Anything that you want me to add?
Oh, yeah. We're located at 338C East Williamsburg Road. That's the larger retail location. We pretty much have everything.
That's what you see behind us and all around us. And
yes.
That's awesome.
Yep. And the website is www.gotsookie.com.
Gotsookie.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm glad y'all had
Thank you,
me.
Evie, for hooking us up.
Showing her best friend on. And I love her t-shirt, by the way. I love it. Let me see.
Do you love that t-shirt?
Yes, I do.
I had this made because Carla, she does such wonderful work with the Sookie, you know, all the products and whatnot. So she and I had gotten together, done a commercial.
Oh, yeah, we did.
So she was like, you ought to find a t-shirt. And I was like, I wanted to find something that I could wear, you know, when she has her events and whatnot. So she sent me the cherry. So I could add that to my shirt. So I have this, the saying that she wanted. And then on the back of my shirt, I have the...
Yeah, I noticed the website on the back.
I don't know if you can see it all the way, but...
Yeah.
Got the website.
Yeah.
Sookie.com.
That's nice.
That is
pure love. I appreciate you big time. I love you.
Oh, this has been wonderful.
And thank you for having me, Tracy. I so much appreciate this. We've been talking about this for quite a while now.
We have.
So this is a good day.
And thank you for joining us on the porch, RVA. And please get out on your porch, get with some friends, relax. Make some new friends. If you can't get friends on your porch, then go get on their porch. And any place can be a porch. So thank you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
On the Porch RVA is produced and directed by John Hundley. Your host is Tracy Hundley. Join our community on Facebook and Instagram. Email us at tomatlh@outlook.com. Visit us at www.tomastudiosrva.com. Video of these episodes are on YouTube and Rumble. On the Porch is a 2024 Toma Studios production.